In the southern reaches of Monggar district, a quiet crisis is unfolding, not of words, not of roads or harvest, but of words. Gongduk, a language older than any written record of it, is falling silent. Registered population shrinking and empty households on the rise, they fear that when the older generation goes, the language will go with them.
In this quiet valley of 𝗀𝗃, the heart of Gongduk Gyeok, echoes of fading tongue linger in silence. Once the very means of communication, Gongduk is being crowded out by Sangla, Kengkha, and increasingly English and Hindi. Among the younger generation, this shift is fueled by persistent influence by YouTube and other social media platforms where these languages dominate. The steady exodus of Gongduk-speaking community is hollowing out the community as well. As families scatter to towns for work, education and convenience, the villages that sustain the language are emptying. The Gyeok's registered population fell from over 1,200 in 2017 to just over 1,000 in 2024, and the largest age group now is 65 and above. 60 gungtongs or empty households were also recorded in the Gyeok in 2024.
Our children do not live here and we mostly communicate in Dzongkha and Sangla. Besides, only a few young people are interested in learning the dialect.
Now, our mother tongue is disappearing with our generation. The younger generation is no longer interested in learning it. I always tell my children that if they do not try and learn the dialect, by their children's time, it will go extinct. I remind them that is our identity.
It is disheartening to see our Gongdukha decline. I tell our youngster that it is their responsibility to preserve and promote the language.
What the outside world knows about this language would barely fill a shelf. Gongduk is spoken in just 6 remote villages of Bakla, 𝗀𝗃, Pangthang, Damkhar, Pam, and Yangbari in the Gyeok. Linguists formally documented it in 1991 and remains poorly studied. The dialect is unique with complex grammar and vocabulary different from what is spoken in the neighboring villages, which is Sangla and Kengkha.
Currently, the Center for Bhutan and Jainist Studies has secured the government's approval to research on Gongduk, which is underway. Their aim is to develop grammar for the native dialect. We are supporting them in every possible way because the initiative is important to preserve the dialect.
Meanwhile, 7-year-old Singye Dema stumbles over the words, but he speaks them. In his hesitant voice lies a fragile hope that the younger generation of Gongduk might still choose to carry its mother tongue forward. After all, a grammar book can only preserve a language on paper, but children like Singye can keep it alive. For Namgay Thinley in Monggar, this is Singye Dema, PBS News.
According to the Department of Culture and Dzongkha Development, the office is documenting endangered dialects, including Gongduk, to preserve them in books. Of around 25 dialects in the country, they have recorded around 19 so far. To discuss the preservation efforts and what's at stake, our reporter Singye Dema talked to Chief Program Officer of the department, Namgay Thinley.
Why preservation of endangered languages such as the Gongduk is important?
Lastly, Gongduk is also one of the native languages of Bhutan, and it is endangered because it has a very less number of speakers. We need to preserve it because it's like one of our heritages. That's why we give importance for preservation.
Let's talk about Gongduk as a language. How and when did you study the Gongduk language?
Like in the 1990s, the government has initiated a language documentation. In the sense that to list all the languages in the country. So During that time, they officially listed 19 languages in Bhutan. So, and they also listed the number of speakers for each language on an estimated basis. So they found out that Gongduk is one of the language with less numbers of speakers. So later on, the office gave importance, and then we did do a research in early 2000. So during that period, sometimes we take help of outside researchers. Sometimes the office here in Bhutan, we do the research.
So you mentioned that you did the research, right? So what about the finding of the research, and what are the measures being taken to preserve and promote the language?
Usually when we do research, what happens is we record the grammars of the language. We also record the vocabulary in that language, and whatever comes up, we look in the inner part of the grammar, like the nouns and verb, adjective, pronoun, all these categories of word classes. So we record all these things. So we try to research and then compile them into a book. But regarding preservation, the best method is for that community to keep on speaking that language, and also the community must pass on that language to their children. That's the only best method. When it comes to research and documentation, what happens is we research and write grammars or record their vocabulary, but we do keep them in a book. So it's like a last resort that we try to preserve. The best is we request the community that if they can sustain that language throughout their generations. And with the Gongduk in the past, in 2004 and 2005, we did research, and then we produced a book like Gongduk English and Dzongkha, like a lexicon recording. So we had this book still with us.
You found out that there were others as well, right? Yes. Would you talk about how many other endangered languages are there in Bhutan, and also about what is being done to promote and preserve these languages?
Several of the languages come up, like 𝗀𝗏𝗃 in Monggar, that's also in Monggar, and there is 𝗀𝗏𝗃 in 𝗀𝗶𝘃, it's spread in 𝗀𝗶𝘃 and Phinceling area. And then there is this 𝗀𝗏𝗃 in 𝗀𝗏𝗃. 𝗀𝗏𝗃 in 𝗀𝗏𝗃 is same as the 𝗀𝗏𝗃 in 𝗀𝗏𝗃, so 𝗀𝗏𝗃 is also an endangered. So similarly, there are a few others. So we targeted this 𝗀𝗏𝗃 language. We started documenting that language. I think we produced a book, and then it's on our website. And 𝗀𝗏𝗃, what we did was 𝗀𝗏𝗃 is in a very dire state, in a stage called moribund, where the older generation are speaking the language, but the younger generation, they have shifted to another language. So what we did was we tried a revitalization program for about 5 years, and then now the younger generation are able to speak a little bit and able to understand the older generation. So this is what happened with 𝗀𝗏𝗃. And with 𝗀𝗏𝗃, earlier there were some researchers who have documented a bit, and then with 𝗀𝗏𝗃 we have started from this year, from last year to 2025, we started doing research. We'll continue that research for maybe for 3 or 4 years.
So would you talk about, for example, like we have intangible arts and cultures such as songs and 𝗀𝗚ces and folklores, which are equally being vulnerable in this modern world, right? So would you talk about what efforts do the department take in order to ensure that these customs and culture are preserved?
For example, in 𝗀𝗏𝗃, they don't have 𝗀𝗚ces and songs because we have been finding out with them. They do have old folklore and other stories, so we record them. And then what we do, we transcribe them and also produce that into some storybooks. So it depends on that language, how advanced they are. If they're too advanced, like Dzongkha, they have this all other things like songs and 𝗀𝗚ce and 𝗀𝗏𝗃. Most these smaller languages, they do not have this kind of literatures.
Last,